Have you ever thought about why friends suddenly turn into rivals? Why the same hands that once shook warmly in friendship are now the very ones hiding a blade behind the back? This isn't just a story, it's the real battlefield of global politics. And in this tale, the newest contender is India. The question is, in this cycle of alliances and betrayals, what is the actual cause? There was once a time when India walked alongside allies with nothing more than a smile. But today, India is engaged in a completely new game of survival. On its borders, a powerful technology has been stationed that leaves no room for enemies to hide, a radar system strengthened by AI that can trace even America's every move. So tell me, if every spy is caught the very moment they step into range, where does that leave the world order? For India, there is now only one principle. If you throw a stone, we will answer with a wall. America believed its satellites could silently watch over India without being noticed. But India played a move so sharp that even Washington found itself shaken. When do you think the true face of a friend is revealed? During easy times or in moments of real hardship? America had long been proud that nothing could escape its gaze. But the instant it realized India's radar was detecting its satellites crossing borders was stunned into silence. Does pride make a person strong or blind? India's thinking has transformed. It is no longer just a country focused on trade or partnerships, but one preparing for defense and decisive counterattacks. And when America discovered that India was no longer waiting quietly, but ready to respond to every move, unease began creeping into its heart. Tell me, can fear ever be avoided, or must it always be faced head-on? This isn't merely the story of radars. It is the story of a nation realizing that even behind a friendly smile, betrayal can wait in silence. And when companionship shifts into deception, the reply must be given in the language deceivers understand best. Do you believe betrayal should ever be forgiven? America saw itself as the teacher of the world, but India has declared that the true master is the one who recognizes an enemy at the right moment. America is stunned, bewildered, and asking itself how India managed to gain this strength. What do you think? Does genuine power come from wealth or from unshakable willpower? For America, this discovery was like a sudden thunderbolt. It assumed its satellites would cross silently, monitoring everything. But India had already cracked the code and prepared its shield. That is the essence of true security. What's your view? Does real defense rely more on weapons or on intelligence? India has sent a message to the world. If you arrive as a friend, we will welcome you. But if you arrive as an enemy, we will unmask you. And this message has reached America's ears in no uncertain terms. What do you think? Does humiliation weaken a nation or force it to become stronger? In global politics, the most dangerous shift is when a friend becomes an adversary. India has realized that it must learn to see beyond masks, even those worn by supposed allies. This revelation still echoes uncomfortably in Washington's halls. Tell me, if recognition comes too late, does it destroy everything that was once trusted? America is rattled, the world is surprised, and India is setting a new precedent for defense. This isn't just about a border. It is about the collision of friendship and betrayal. And whenever loyalty turns into deception, history itself inscribes the answer. If you were in India's place, would you preserve the friendship or strike back? India is no longer the quiet observer it once was. For decades, it believed in the promises of allies, trusted in smiles, and accepted handshakes. But now it has awakened to a darker truth. Even those closest can use you for their own benefit. America thought India would forever live in its shadow. But this time, India has stepped into the light of its own strength. A nation that once relied on patience has now chosen power. Do you believe patience is always a virtue, or can it sometimes turn into a weakness? When America realized that satellites were no longer unseen to India, it wasn't just alarmed, it grew restless. For a superpower that thrived on secrecy and control, losing invisibility was like losing its crown. Imagine the arrogance of a giant suddenly unsettled by the rise of one it once underestimated. This is not only about defense, it is a reminder that underdogs do not remain underdogs forever. Do you believe arrogance destroys empires faster than their enemies do? The world now looks at India with renewed eyes. For years it was called a rising power, a growing economy, a nation on its way. But today that phrase has shifted. India is not merely on its way. It has arrived. By placing defense above diplomacy, it has shown the world that no one will gamble with its security again. And in this new chapter, America finds itself struggling to grasp how quickly the script is reversed. Do you believe true respect is offered freely, or must it always be fought for through struggle? America always prided itself on seeing the unseen, predicting the unpredictable, and mastering the uncontrollable. But for the first time, it is being forced to admit to a blind spot. And that blind spot is India. It has realized its friend has studied its tactics, decoded its patterns, and forge countermeasures sharp enough to leave even the most powerful intelligence agencies speechless. So, what is more dangerous? An enemy you already know, or a friend who knows you better than you know yourself? India has chosen not to simply defend, it has chosen to anticipate. This radar system is not just about intercepting a spy or tracking a satellite, it is about delivering a warning: we see you before you see us. And when a nation reaches this level of preparedness, it ceases to be prey and instead becomes the hunter, in your opinion, who holds more power, the one who reacts or the one who predicts. For America, this is more than shock, it is humiliation. How could a partner, an ally, a supposed friend outwit it so thoroughly? The sting of betrayal cuts deepest when it comes from the one you thought you could count on. And perhaps this is America's greatest wound. Not India's radar, not its technology, but the realization that its own assumptions blinded it. So tell me, what hurts more? The strike of an enemy or the weight of your own mistake? The map of global politics is shifting rapidly. Once upon a time, India leaned on the protection of others. But now those very protectors realize India no longer requires, that is the real revolution. Not weapons, not satellites, not trade, but independence in defense. For the first time, India is not waiting for anyone to intervene. It is standing tall on its own, ready to guard itself and respond with force. Do you believe independence is given, or must it always be fought for? India has shown America that respect cannot be demanded. It must be commanded. And the way to command it is not by pleading for safety, but by building it with your own strength. This is no longer just about borders. It is about dignity, pride, and survival. The stronger India makes its defense, the more it reminds the world that history is not written by the loudest voices, but by the most prepared. Do you think survival belongs to the loud or to the ready? Now a new silent war has begun. Not a war of bullets, but of information. America listens, spies, and observes, but India has severed the invisible strings of espionage, flipping the game entirely. It has declared it will no longer be the subject of study. It will be the one writing the lessons. Do you agree that information is the strongest weapon of all, even stronger than bombs? For America, the ground beneath its feet has shifted. For India, a new dawn has risen. And for the world, a new anxiety has surfaced that maybe, just maybe, the balance of power is shifting. The real question isn't whether India is ready for tomorrow. The true question is whether the world is ready for the new India. So tell me, does change frighten the weak, or does it frighten the powerful most? India's plan was never about showmanship. It was about patience, vigilance, and acting with precision. When the moment came, America thought it could quietly gather intelligence unseen. But India had already set the trap. This AI-powered